New from Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling of winning. Winning is the latest Get the Feeling home video cassette from the #1 sports magazine in the world, Sports Illustrated. Winning. There's no better feeling. Get the feeling of winning today.
In the world of sport, there are a special few athletes that soar above the rest. They twist and turn and break the barriers of reason. They are the magicians of sport. These magicians come in all shapes and sizes, but they share the same spellbinding ability to conjure up miracles. Some believe that the most amazing magicians of sport are the tall timbers of the NBA. But among these magical giants, only one player actually bears the name. He is Earvin Magic Johnson, number 32 of the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic is 6 feet 9 inches tall, but from the outside, he can control the game like a small man. Then he moves inside to challenge players who tower over him. Inside or out, he is simply magic.
The crowd is going crazy. Your teammates are excited, and all that energy is just like I suck it all up, and I want to give it back to everybody else. Like I feel I can do anything, and it'll work. It's not cockiness, it's just confidence. It's just, I know I'm in my game now. It's just working. And I'm working offense, I'm working defense, I'm rebounding, and I'm dancing, and I'm just going. And that's when I'm really magic. That's me.
Never has a player lived up to his nickname so well or fit his adopted city as perfectly. Magic and Los Angeles were made for each other.
He has put the fun in it. He has put the smile in it. And he makes basketball, the same game that they play on the court is the same game the guys play in the park.
That's his thing. I guess it is. It's just magic. Nobody else can do it that way.
Well, it's a perfect name for him because when he gets on the court, he is magic.
I think we're looking at a future senator. It remains to be seen whether it's Michigan or California.
It's a thrill to make people happy and smile and dance.
Earvin Johnson still can't believe he's the center of all this attention.
It's like a fairy tale and a dream, and I don't want nobody to wake me up. Let me dream on.
So I had to check you out. Looking good.
It's a thrill. It's like a little kid inside of me that comes out when I get a chance to meet my heroes. Because there's people who you always seen on TV or on the movie screen. And it's great. It's a great feeling. I call my dad, and he's all excited, especially if I meet one of those older guys he came up with. So it's been great. I love it. It's home. I love what LA, the city, has to offer. Every day is an adventure, something different. Every day I get to meet somebody else. Every day I get to do something different. When I first arrived here, it was funny because I was so scared I wouldn't go out. Here I am, a small town boy from little Lansing, Michigan. I haven't forgotten where I've come from, though.
Even at 15, Irvin Johnson had the size and the smile. All that was missing was the name.
I saw him play his first 2 games of his high school career, and he just jumped out at you with his charisma. And here's a high school sophomore. So I went down to the locker room afterwards, and I said, Irvin, we got to call you something. And he's standing here nodding as a 15-year-old kid, probably being interviewed for the first time by the press. And I said, well, Dr. J's out because of Julius Erving, and the Big E's out because of Elvin Hayes. How about Magic? And he said, well, that's okay with me, Mr. Stabley. You know, a lot of people have asked me whether I've ever gotten anything for nicknaming him Magic. And I said, I got the greatest reward anybody could ever have. I got the chance to watch him play 5 years.
Yeah, first, but, you know, we came back out and just got the job done.
As the only 3-time All-Stater in Michigan history, Magic was happy to stay at home and play at Michigan State. Even as a freshman, he looked like a man among boys, a 6'9" point guard, bringing magic to East Lansing.
Intercepted by Irvin Johnson across the timeline. Irvin goes in and he slams dunks the ball.
Magic's unselfishness brought out the best in his teammates
Quick pass underneath Irvin Johnson.
as he led Michigan State to a Big Ten championship as a freshman. Then, an NCAA title as a sophomore. At the age of 19, he was ready for the NBA.
I think that made me realize that maybe I could do well as a pro, and that's why I decided to leave school. And also, when you look at me getting a chance to play with Kareem, you know I wasn't going to pass that up, you know? So playing with Kareem, coming to L.A., that was like, okay, where do I sign? I don't worry about the money, just I'm signing right now.
On a team already stocked with veteran superstars like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic was in his glory and ready to reach his awesome potential as a playmaker.
Now here's Magic down the middle. How did he see him?
That's really where the magic is. That's what I'm all about. That's where the name comes from, really.
Down the middle, Worthy. No look pass, score.
The passing is definitely magic. That's it. You know, my eyes get so big on the fast break when I come down and I see that, oh man, I get a chance to make something really happen, you know, and here come my trail men and my wing men, and I just, boom, there's somebody dunking it, and that's what makes Magic Johnson. You know, the passes and then the crowd going crazy. You know, it's funny because you never know what type of pass you're going to throw until you throw it, because you don't know what the defense is going to do. I never make up my mind where I'm going to throw this type of pass until it happens. And then I go home or I'm watching films the next day. I had to look, I said, man, I made that pass? Wow, okay. That was nice.
Even at home, Magic is never far from the game he loves.
I wanted a house really like made for me. This is it. It gives me everything I need. There'll be days I wake up early and I go out there and shoot and play, work on free throws, jump shots, hooks, dribbling. This might be a bad day or something on my mind, and where it's better to work it out than right there on the court.
Yes. You don't actually take a court in your own house to be a good basketball player.
Because I never had this until I turned pro, remember that? And that's only because the Lakers were foolish enough to give me some money for playing a game I love. Oh, man. That's what it's all about for me. I just love to play. I love to get out there and play.
Here comes Magic. He's got it. He throws it on the way for three. I don't believe it.
I dream about upcoming games, how I win them. Or you got the ball with 10 seconds and you're down one and you need this hoop. And it's just something within inside of you that says you're going to make the shot.
Magic fires for three. Got it at the buzzer. Magic hit a three-pointer. The Lakers win.
How do you define his magic? Perhaps it's the music that he alone hears.
Well, the music to describe me best wouldn't be fast. It wouldn't be slow. It'd be right in the middle. It'd be right in the middle. It'd be smooth sailing. fine because I don't go too fast, but I go fast enough. And I don't go too slow, I go slow enough. I would have to have some music right in the middle. Right in the middle, square. Bango. That's what me.
In a lifetime of accomplishment, Magic Johnson has risen to state, national, and world championships. But he has never actually flown. Some magicians have harnessed the wind and taken wing with the birds. The magic of motorless flight is the province of free spirits like Larry Tudor, one of the world's most accomplished hang glider pilots.
When I was young, I was always fascinated by birds and always wished I could be up there among them. When I was 19, that dream became a reality when I discovered hang gliding. We fly close to the birds, soaring next to condors, swallows, seagulls, eagles. That eagle was so in love with hang gliders that it'd fly next to us, and we put a perch on top of my king post, and he'd land up there without any provocation. When we were first learning, all the gliders were designed mainly just to give you a descent ride to the bottom of the mountain. And once the glider started getting better, we started flying during the middle of the day and testing our expertise with thermals. Now people fly over 200 miles routinely and up to altitudes of 18,000 feet.
Larry Tudor's skill and dedication have led him to pursue his love of hang gliding full-time. As a designer for Will's Wing Aviation, Larry Tudor visits glider launches all over the world to test the latest equipment and learn from local pilots.
Get these divers off of here. Air junkies only. Who put that in there?
Today is special. It's his first look at Hawaii's legendary Makapu Ridge.
Oh my God, I don't believe it.
Welcome to Makapu.
Oh yeah, woo! Feels soarable.
Oh yeah.
Ow! God, it's so beautiful. This was one of the very first places where anyone ever ridge soared. All the endurance records were held here. The first tandem flights and the first world records for distance were all off of this mountain right here in Hawaii. Does it want to turn you left or right when you take off?
No, not really. It's so steep, even if it's crossed, as it hits the ridge, it blows up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Straight up and back.
Straight up. God, I bet on the right day here you wouldn't even need a glider. Boy, this has got to be about the 10,000th time I've set up a diver. The strength on the new gliders is probably better than a Cessna 182. When hang gliding first began, we had an image of being daredevils and crazies, and the gliders weren't very strong, and they were very, very unstable. They wouldn't pull out a dive. They just flap like clothes on a line. There is some danger to hang gliding. You know, it's an aviation sport, and aviation is historically very unforgiving of any pilot error. When I say go, make sure I don't step on your pretty forehead, and I'll be out of your way.
Get it out here. No, you got to bring it out here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you were telling me to pick it up. You didn't tell me to come forward.
Larry, got to get the glider out here.
You want it out there now?
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't feel right, I'm not going to go for it, even if he is over us. I'd rather not, really. I'm the pilot, and I don't want to go out any further until he's going to start coming around.
Hey, I'm doing what I'm being told.
Just relax, okay, Lonnie? I'm relaxed.
Okay, Larry, this is it. Good wind.
Nose up, nose up.
Got to run hard and pull in.
Clear. All right. Oh, this ridge is so beautiful. Makapu'u. Yeah. Fly me to the moon. We don't really need to worry about holding on to the glider either, because the glider is designed to fly by itself. If you want to do a left turn, just shift your weight, leading with your feet to the left, and go back to center, and the glider turns by itself. Want to do a right turn, just shift your weight to the right, and it turns real easily to the right. No problem. If we want to go faster, what we do is we pull the bar in and get our weight forward. If anybody ever asks you, I want to take your glider for a spin, you better not let them, because this is what they're going to do. I tell you, I'm just not happy unless I'm going Mach 2 with my hair on fire. We're going ballistic. Oh, that sinking feeling. Everyone's had dreams of flying. I think that's because man has been destined to fly and always set his sights on the sky. Now with foot-launched powerless flight, we're testing man's ability to fly as the birds have flown for thousands and thousands of years. I foresee the day when people will be soaring from the bottom of Mount Everest up over the top and to the other Himalayan peaks and flying non-stop 300 miles. This isn't so much a dream anymore, it's very close to reality.
Not all magicians glide through their sport with such effortless ease. Along the boards of the National Hockey League, finesse gives way to survival of the fittest. It's no wonder that contact often leads to confrontation. Hockey is a physical game, and no one seems better equipped to handle it than number 66, Mario Lemieux of the Pittsburgh Penguins. As one of the largest players on the ice, Lemieux knows how to take the body, but in fact he rarely does. That's part of his magic.
He is a contradiction of terms so far as hockey players go. He's huge, tall, he's 6'4", weighs about 220, and yet he can move with the speed of a 5'7" or 5'8" kind of a hockey player. He goes against the grain of every hockey player that ever played the game, and yet he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, to play it.
Lemieux behind the defense, and a pass, he walks in on a move, makes a move, and stopped, now gets it back and shoots and scores! Lemieux beating Van Beesbroek, and the Penguins get another goal.
There's such a thing as a magician in sports. It's Mario Lemieux. Some say his skates never touch the ice.
Sometimes he's an optical illusion. You see him coming down the ice, you think that there's no way he could score, and he handles the puck so well, goalie has no idea where it's going to go.
With the wingspan of a 747, Lemieux simply controls the puck, using size and strength in combination with unusual agility to dominate a game. The total package makes Mario Lemieux a point-scoring machine. In junior hockey, he once scored 282 goals in a single season. By the age of 18, he was leading the Pittsburgh Penguins in scoring.
I don't know, I guess it's in my blood. Since I was really young, I always wanted to be the best in the league. I always drove myself to get better.
Mario Lemieux has come a long way from the French-Canadian kid who arrived in Pittsburgh unable to speak English. Today, he's the toast of the town.
How you doing? Yeah, that was tough, starting with the worst team in the league back in '84, but that was a challenge for me at that time. I just wanted to go out there and play hockey and have fun and try to build a good team around me and hopefully one year win the Stanley Cup.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your 1988 Pittsburgh Penguins.
While the Stanley Cup was slow in coming, Mario's magic did save the Pittsburgh franchise. From the dregs of the lowest attendance in the league, the name Lemieux was soon on everyone's lips.
There he is. There he is. Oh. Come on, Mario! Oh, he's so cute.
But no one appreciated number 66's greatness more than the men who benefited most, his teammates.
You go out on the ice with him, and it's like a different game. The game seems to stop and revolve around what Mario does. He does everything so incredibly, so fluent on the ice, and players like myself are skating full speed, giving everything I got. You can look beside you, he'll be step for step with you, and he'll just be gliding because he's just an incredible athlete. It's just a pleasure being out there with him, just being beside him, seeing what he does close up, having the angles, seeing that he's making the impossible play, and it's like ballet. You can sit and just watch and be mesmerized by what he can do.
Sometimes Mario Lemieux makes the game look almost too easy.
He doesn't look like he's working hard, but at the end of the game, I don't think anyone's tired or has worked harder than Mario has.
Behind the scenes, Mario Lemieux does not float or glide. He works to improve. At the age of 22, he was the NHL's leading scorer and most valuable player. Still, his amazing potential has yet to be fully realized.
I know that I can do a lot of things that other players can't. That's probably why a lot of people are calling me the magician, but it all comes natural to me. I don't try to impress people by the way I play. I just try to make the right play at the right time, and sometimes it's a little fancy, but it works.
Hockey's bottom line is goals and assists. But point totals pale beside the aesthetic ideal that magical Mario Lemieux represents. He has challenged the variables of a demanding, often brutal game, and turned it into a thing of delicate grace and beauty. Mario Lemieux has arrived at center stage in the world of Major League sport. But on the streets, the kid magicians are in charge. The games kid magicians invent are off limits to adults and leave us speechless. Wow. One day, a kid magician may grow up to be another Steve Largent, who made it to the NFL even though he didn't get much bigger than he was at 15.
I pinch myself every year just to see if it's really real, if it's happening to me, because believe me, the type of career that I've had is a childhood dream.
Largent! Largent!
Steve Largent's childhood dream was more than realized as he went on to become the greatest receiver in NFL history. Some say this half-pint Houdini does it with mirrors, but his success is more than just hocus pocus.
He has a lot of things going for him, and I think one thing going for him that's great is that everyone says he doesn't have great speed. So when you go into the game, you think, well, he doesn't have great speed, I'm going to kind of relax and just stay close. But he comes off the line, and he really has a great tempo, and he can stop and change direction so quickly that he really throws defensive backs for a loss a lot of times.
A lot of people, they have to look the football into their hands. Steve can look at the football and then turn the other way and catch on the other side of his body like nobody else can.
I tried to explain what Steve Largent does well. How he gets open, sometimes I don't know. There's just some magic to it that you really cannot define.
I don't know that's really applicable or not. I think sometimes I make easy catches look real hard, and maybe that's the magic of it. I'm not sure.
Deep for Largent up the left side end zone. Touchdown Seahawks to Largent!
Seattle fans have never taken their humble hero for granted. Even his wife Terry is impressed.
I love to watch him play. I mean, he just has such a fluid movement on the field. I just love watching him run. And then he doesn't make a big deal out of it and say, all right, I'm the best, I mean, he just throws the ball down and runs back to the huddle, and I don't know, I like it all.
Steve and Terry met as sophomores in high school, and their marriage gave his life balance.
He has been a great super dad, really. He's Mr. Mom.
Win or lose, you come home and your kids love you and need you and want to spend time with you, and it definitely helps keep a proper perspective and a balance to my life.
His youngest son, Kramer, provides the greatest perspective. Kramer was born with a neuromuscular disease called spina bifida.
It was heartbreaking just to think what Kramer would have to experience in life. And then it was also real devastating to watch Steve kind of walk off to the corner of the room sobbing. That was the hardest thing for me.
The first day he came into our lives, I was crying, and they were, tears of bitterness and disappointment. Now the tears are joy, just to see how he progresses and how exciting it is. And when he learns to do something that people said he might not be able to do.
Kramer need look no further than his dad for inspiration. Steve Largent has been told what he might not be able to do his entire career. In fact, his first pro team, the Houston Oilers, cut him in training camp.
Well, I got a phone call about 2 days after I was released by the Oilers from the Seattle Seahawks, and they said, Steve, do you want to continue to play football? And I said, well, I'd like to try.
Perhaps he tried too hard. At first in Seattle, Steve Largent looked like a little lost boy. He seemed overmatched in the NFL and would have been cut again if fate had not intervened. You see, it was Seattle's first year, too.
At that point, the Seahawks were expansion team as the first year, and it was really a golden opportunity for me because everybody was trying to fit in, not just a few of the new rookies like myself.
Another Seahawk rookie was quarterback Jim Zorn, who had been cut by the Dallas Cowboys. He and Largent developed an instant rapport, and for survival, teamed up to become the Seahawks' first potent passing combination.
I would say that he has real quick moves, and I think his best asset is he understands the game. And that helps me out a lot because he makes adjustments being as smart as he is. Don't take that to your head, son.
Right, Jim, you forgot to tell him about my hands.
And he's got great hands, and people don't think he's fast, but he's fast.
Soon, Steve Largent's secret was out in the open for all to see. On the day number 80 made the team for good, he spiked the ball. just once. Since then, he has performed his magic with remarkable consistency, but little fanfare. Jim Zorn moved on, and through the years, 8 Seahawk quarterbacks have thrown passes to Steve Largent. He's caught nearly every one for more receptions, touchdowns, yardage, and consecutive games than anyone else in the history of football.
You know, the world is full of unrewarded geniuses, men with great God-given talent that never utilize it. Steve maximizes his God-given talent.
Martin out wide to the right, back Craig, a quick pass. There it is. And that'll do it. A new NFL record for Steve Largent. And at 7:07 here in the Great Northwest, this place will erupt.
In a magical career that very nearly didn't happen, a gentle little man made it very big in the violent world of pro football. On the other hand, polo seems to be the most genteel of sports. At the Palm Beach Polo and Country Club, action on the playing fields shares equal billing with high society in the stands, where wealthy patrons come to see and be seen. Traditionally, polo's image has been tied to upper-crust audiences, matinee idol riders, and high-priced horses. But down on the playing field, polo does not look or sound so genteel. In fact, it's a rugged, fast-paced game, played 4 to a side by men who are ranked in skill from 0 goals for a beginner to 10 goals for a master.
If you get on the horse, that's difficult enough. And then if you get on the horse and you hit the ball, and you go fast in the horse and hitting the ball, you're going 35, 40 miles an hour. Hitting the ball, controlling the horse, and riding in the green polo field. And you start passing the ball and you start scoring goals, and that's a sensation that you don't have it in many other sports.
A variety of shots are needed to direct the ball around a playing surface more than 3 football fields long and through the goalposts. The riders are not just wealthy playboys, and despite its dandy image, polo requires equal amounts of skill and daring.
What's going on really is you're riding a horse of 1,200 pounds. So you have the risks out there that your horse can fall down and can roll on top of you. That will break a shoulder, a collarbone. You've then got the ball that's flying around, which can hit you in the eye. You've got those mallets which are going around, which are very dangerous. The swing of that mallet caught on your elbow will dislocate and fracture your elbow. And, you know, it's all an accident. But the fact is you're going around with your wrist broken in 7 places.
As the players make their way back to the halfway line to receive the throw-in. Now then, 3 more goals.
The game is divided into 6 7.5-minute periods, or chukkers, each requiring a fresh horse. As many as 35 horses may be used in a single game.
Second shot, bang, there it is along the ground, and we have a goal.
In fact, regardless of the rider's skill, the quality of his horses will ultimately determine success or failure. In polo, the man may be remarkable, but it's the horse that's magic.
Come on, Miller, clear! Come on, Josh, behind him! I got it.
World-class polo ponies are hybrids, combining the speed of a racehorse with the agility of a cutting horse.
The horse is probably 75 to 80% of the game. You can train a gorilla to hit the ball, you know. This animal is asked to run 7.5 minutes like that racehorse, stop and turn like that cutting horse, and then use his body as a battering ram in between. It's got to be the greatest animal athlete in the world.
They'll get a little excited, yeah, but you need a little bit of that excitement, just like an NFL player. You know, if they're not banging their heads against the lockers, they're not ready to play. These horses are the same way.
We depend 100% on the polo pony. You're going to be pushing them a lot, you know. You're going to be asking them things that you don't ask to any other horse in any other sport. I'll say that she played well and strong. And for me, the most interesting and the most fascinating part of the game is the training of the horse. This mare was a little bit tired yesterday. It takes 1 to 2 years to develop a high-goal pony. And sometimes you spend 1 to 2 years and you have nothing, you know. You have to start all over again.
What we look for in a polo pony is, first of all, a strong horse. Wide in the chest. See how strong she is in here, in this area here. She's capable of carrying a 200-pound man for 7.5 minutes very easy.
Well, this is the first day for Calimán during the winter season. He's only 6 years old at the time, so that makes him just starting the peak of his career.
Conditioning a horse to play 7.5 minutes wide open, stopping and turning, not only does he have to be an athlete, but he's got to be well conditioned.
Qualities on this horse is his steadiness and his balance.
I can go to the left, I can come back to the right, and hopefully beat my opponent to it.
He's a very agile horse.
Fluid, quick,
and the balance.
The horse has to do it almost automatically.
Oh.
A polo pony is finally ready for game day. This afternoon, the Cadillac team, featuring Mexico's 2 10-goal brothers, Carlos and Memo Gracida, will play the Rolex team, captained by England's Geoffrey Kent.
Vamos, Canelo, para adelante, por favor. Canelo. Vamos, Canelo, con el siguiente hombre, con el de atrás, con el de atrás. Tuya, Canelo. Medio. Come on, Gene. Mark that man. That man is taking me out. Stay with him, you know, don't go in front of him. Stay with him. Come on, Gene, more aggressive, eh? You are just floating. No, get aggressive. If you don't catch this man, go for the backhander. Take him, and hard, and then back the ball hard. I mean, when you have the ball, go for it. Vamos, eh? Come on, Gene.
Because it's early in the season, some of Memo Gracida's best horses are not yet ready for competition. As a result, Geoffrey Kent is able to check him effectively during much of the afternoon.
Right there!
Horses and riders battle head-to-head. And in the game's 6th and final chukker, Cadillac's last chance is turned away just short of the goal for a narrow Rolex victory. Win or lose, the polo player relies on the magic of his horse. But Ozzie Smith is a thoroughbred of a different kind. Number 1 of the St. Louis Cardinals rides a magic carpet of quickness his wonders to perform. He is known as the Wizard of Oz.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
But Ozzie did not become the Wizard by hitting home runs. His game takes on truly magical properties when he takes the field to play shortstop. This Wizard's wand is made of leather, and it's been that way ever since he was a rookie with the San Diego Padres. Young Ozzie came up with plays no one had ever seen before, and even more amazingly, he did it on a regular basis. After he had honed his skills in San Diego, Ozzie moved to St. Louis, where he became the first man to make more than $1 million for what he could do with his glove. Today, Ozzie can afford to make a mistake in practice and laugh it off.
Here, let me change gloves. Let's change. We'll switch for a minute. We'll switch for a minute.
Easygoing Ozzie leads by deed and word.
That's right. You can't make the club in the tub.
You ain't able on the table.
Hey, can't hit a triple if you're crippled.
Can't hit a double if you're in trouble.
Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch
Even
it
as a
out.
veteran, Ozzie has maintained his childlike enthusiasm for the game.
I like to sit around and watch teams take infield. And this guy caught the ball, and it was as if it never touched his glove, and he flips to first base. And I took a double take, you know, and I said, wow, how did he do that? And I yelled to him, I said, do that again. He does it again, and it looks as if it never touched the glove. So quite naturally, that intrigued me. So it was at that point that I started trying to learn how to do it. And actually, what it is, it's really dealing with angles. Having a good angle to where the ball hits the heel of your glove right here, and it just bounces into the other hand. Gives you the illusion of it never really touching the glove.
Ozzie's sleight of hand is put to good use on the field, where he proves once and for all that the hand is quicker than the eye. But the Wizard's most famous trick is the flip. Acrobatic Ozzie decided early in his career that he wanted to share his magic with the fans. So he opened and closed each season with his signature flip. In between, he settled for assorted dives and leaps.
Ozzie is so agile. Only one shortstop I think I've ever seen that can dive at a ball and come up and throw it accurate with something on it and get the man out at first base. Ozzie is a natural athlete, and another thing, he just don't come out to the ballpark and wait for the game to start. He's out there practicing all the time. As you could see out here in spring training, he'll take hundreds and hundreds of ground balls, different positions, and this is his business, and he knows how to do it.
This makes you use your hands. You know, just like hitting, you know, you want to be able to utilize your hands. And this here takes your feet away from you. Just makes you utilize your hands. Develop good hands. Quick hands. Better be quick or that ball will jump up and bite you. And I always tell myself that I can do anything with this. Just like an artist with a brush, this is my way of expressing. This is one of the only places that I can do things the way I feel I can do them without any restrictions. I'm free to create the way I feel out here, total freedom. You know, I get the most out of my God-given talents, and I think I was given this talent to share with people, and I just let it flow.
Ozzie would understand the flow of freestyle skiing. Freestyle means just that. These remarkable athletes create their own games, unfettered by time limits, boundaries, or rules. The magic comes from the harmony they feel for their natural surroundings. The test could be skiing an uncharted course through a grove of quaking asp, or attacking a freshly powdered slope of moguls. Two of the most versatile freestyle skiers in the world are a perfectly matched brother and sister team, Karen and Robbie Huntoon.
Karen and I have a really good relationship skiing together. We ski a lot alike, style-wise. To look at us, our body positions are very much the same. We ski well together. I love to ski behind her and what I call dog her, and get her to ski faster and jump higher.
It's definitely a way for an aggressive person to let their aggressions out You can go up on the hill mad at your dog or mad at your husband or mad at whoever, and by the time you get done skiing a few runs, you're relaxed and you feel great. I think freestyle is kind of a bunch of maybe grown-up children being little tiny children all over again. It's a way to express yourself. I think freestyle must have a magical quality because even when I look at people doing it still, I'm in awe of what's going on.
Robbie Huntoon's specialty is jumping off cliffs, and he's been lucky. He keeps skiing away unhurt, and has even found a way to make a living from his passion for freestyle. He works in television and motion pictures as a stunt skier, and no assignment is too difficult or bizarre.
So this is obviously the most important scene in the movie now. We're gonna have all this stuff. Ken's got the fireworks going. You've got the rocket skis. You'll be igniting your own skis.
When Robbie Huntoon isn't being filmed, he's doing the filming, and sometimes he's his own best subject. Stunt skiing is often hazardous to equipment and personnel. But it pays the bills and keeps Robbie Huntoon fit for the freestyle challenge he loves best. He lives to jump. A small mogul, a medium-sized cornice, or a rocky precipice where angels fear to tread.
I've jumped off so many cliffs now, and I've been doing this so long that it's a dream I have frequently at night, and it's a very realistic dream. I can see myself go to the edge of a cliff and look over the edge and think, God, this thing is huge, and know that it's really an impossible jump to do, but it stays in my mind, and it's a very real dream. I can see myself coming down the in-run and off the very edge of that cliff that I was just standing on, and I just fly. I don't have to worry about landing. Here I am just skimming the tops of the trees and out over the skiers and looking down on them as if I was a bird. It's just magic.
Every athlete dreams of breaking free from the bounds of natural law. The magicians of sport come closest to making this dream a reality.